Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow councillors. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's meeting of the regular council. It's to be held and transmitted electronically to the council chambers, which are located at 39 South Shore Road in Lake Cowichan, BC. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge with gratitude that we are gathering and doing our business on the traditional unceded territory of the Siouxsie people, who have walked gently on these lands for millennia. With that, I'll be looking for any introduction of late items. Joseph?
Just one item, absence of Councillor Sanders.
Okay, under new business, I'll leave the absence for Councillor Sanders, please. Anything from councillors? Seeing none, looking for a motion to approve the agenda as amended, moved by Councillor Frisbee, seconded by Councillor Bomaka. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. So public input. This is for any item that is on the agenda. If you wish to give public input to that, now is your opportunity. Seeing no one rush up to the owl, I think we will continue on. Looking for number 5, adoption of the minutes. We have minutes from the regular meeting of council on December 19th. That includes that. We see any errors or omissions which need to be corrected. If not, looking for a motion to approve those, moved by Councillor Austin, seconded by Councillor Frisbee. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Any business arising from those minutes? Joseph, none there? Thank you. We will go to delegations and representations. We have Mr. Bob Day, former Mayor Bob Day, and my dad. Here with the update on the Siouxsie Communities Economic Development Project. Welcome, sir. You have 10 minutes. Do you need more?
I think no.
Okay.
Heard that long enough now. I think I've managed to stay within the realm. Where do I stand?
If you could just stand wherever you feel comfortable, just so the owl can pick you up and can speak.
You mentioned the owl, so I didn't know if I had to address the owl. So thank you very much, Mayor and Council, for letting me be here tonight and to give you an update on the Rural Advisory Economic Development project going on. My name is Bob Day, just in case anybody watching over the owl doesn't know who that person is, and I'm here tonight to bring you an update on that project. The funding of this project was made possible by the province of British Columbia and administered by ICE-T, as well as a contribution from Economic Development Cowichan. And I know that was a comment made earlier on that some money coming back, and that happened, and that's a good thing. The project work plan has been built around community engagement at all levels, including first and foremost local residents, business owners, community organizations, and future potential stakeholders. The philosophy on the work plan is that whatever plans are made for the future economic development needs to have as much input as possible from local residents who are the most important stakeholders. In the beginning, Mr. Alex Fallon was contracted to do the early outreach for this project and has since moved on to opportunities closer to his home in Saskatchewan. I have taken over the lead on the project through the next phase of community engagement, which will end in a community economic development roundtable conversation on May 11, 2024 at Centennial Hall. Everyone in the Cowichan Lake community will be invited to reserve a seat at this gathering and enjoy inspirational speakers, a first-class luncheon, and ending with a vision circle where everyone's thoughts and suggestions can be heard and recorded. Everything we do in our communities can be viewed as economic development. Gone are the days when only smokestacks can be considered the primary drivers of our local economy. We are in a different age. While sustainable forestry is still a major contributor, recreational access to our natural assets are growing as an attraction not only for visitors, but the attraction of new residents and of course the enjoyment of longtime residents. I believe we need to embrace and continue to enhance access to our natural and built assets, and all the while keeping in mind the quality of life we enjoy in the Cowichan Lake area. In this age, people are attracted to the natural environment and well-designed streetscapes as places to gather and spend money. This is why we need to continue rejuvenating our downtown spaces as well. It has recently been stated that modern-day economic development in small rural communities is more about placemaking and businesses that enter into niche products and services that box stores seem to ignore. Economic development can also be found by looking at addressing food insecurity issues, and the creation of care facilities and personal support services are also good economic drivers in the world we live in today. I reviewed the section of the Town of Lake Cowichan official community plan and noticed some good suggestions contained in that section. I'm hoping that this project will offer some potential valuable additions to this section the next time it is reviewed. The final report of this project will be presented in September 2024, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of this one. So that's basically the scripted part of it. So I also brought along with me tonight a couple of documents. One of them that's mentioned in the official community plan is the tourism action plan that was created. And I also thought this for everybody's sake and as a reminder, because I've often read this and I keep on referring back to this, the 2001 action plan for economic development in Cowichan Lake area. It's still got a lot of viable options within this document. And a lot of the stuff that is contained in here has come forth to fruition and is being in the works of being created. So except for the industrial part, this seems to be something that isn't taking an uptake from investors and the like, but there's a lot of good data in here and ideas to work from. And just as a reminder, can I leave this with you tonight?
Absolutely, please do.
You need to print off some copies of invaluable resources. So happy to take any questions.
Perfect. First of all, thank you for your presentation and the update. I appreciate all the work that has gone into this so far. Look forward to May 11th and final report in September as well. What comes to fruition from that and how we can collaborate collectively on economic development, not only in the Cowichan town itself, but in the surrounding areas. We know we're the hub, the business hub, that we service 6,000 people in the area, and we need to be smart at how we move forward. So with that, I will turn to Councillor Austin.
Just one thing, does that, it has some report, the 2001, yeah, that's one, I've got one with the, yeah, there's a few things need to be doing, but no, that was an excellent report.
Anyone else? Seeing none, again, we thank you for your presentation, and we'll have that in my office, so you can look at that. We'll have a look, an update. It's quite well from 2001, but some of that is very pertinent still. I think one of the major concerns in that in the industrial portion is the lack of industrial land within the municipality, and how perhaps we could collaborate with our local First Nation and other government entities to encourage that industrial development. Perhaps not in the municipality, but at least in the West End.
Absolutely. You know, that's been this, as you know, I work part-time for Subaso, and when I first looked at this grant, we thought, why shouldn't we do this and include everybody in the area? You know, because we have a little bit of capacity with my other work I do there to do this kind of stuff. And I think it's like 2001 was the last time we really engaged in this topic, and let's do it again. And you know, and right from the get-go, we agreed at least that, as you saw, maybe sell the work plan. Well, let's involve the residents first, because what I've learned in local government and everything, just like a business, look after your customers, your residents first, and then you have to create good things that people like to see.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, and moving to correspondence, we have no action items unless we would like to pull one of those from the information for consent list. I will pull the Lake Cowichan Fairwear Association. I see a number of members there sent us a letter of introduction. So with that, I will just acknowledge that we did receive your letter. Appreciate your introduction. We did have a delegation from you previously, and we look forward to our public meeting in March 4th. And we are inviting those entities which I spoke of at that meeting to attend for public education, etc. But I know you've been doing a lot of work in the background. aside from what has transpired here, and we look forward to seeing what transpires. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And with that, is there any other ones that you'd like to have a look at? Free to file. Moved by Councilor O'Maca, seconded by Councilor Austin. Thank you. We'll move on to council and committee reports. First one is committee of the whole from January 9th. Councilor Austin, please.
Thank you. I would like to move the minutes of January 9th as presented.
Do I have a seconder? Councilor Frisbee seconds. Any discussion on those? All in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Council Lake Recreation. Councilor Frisbee, I believe the meeting was yesterday, was it not?
Yep, we had the meeting yesterday, being the first one of 2024. We had to elect the chair and vice chair, which remain the same. So Director Morrison is the chair of that committee, with Councillor Manhas as the vice chair. We discussed the cladding project that they've been wanting to get done there for a while. It has been further delayed due to the architect tragically passing away recently, and that business is folded, so it'll be delayed another couple of months. But the good news is that there is businesses that are interested in doing the cladding project, which was one of the issues from last year not getting it done. And the thought is that it will remain under budget or on budget. There's also an update from the Kraken, just a request for internet use, for them to be provided with internet use, but the IT department from the CBRD reported that no one else has provided that, and it's raised some security concerns. The ice resurfacer was purchased, I believe it was last year, with a 5-year financing term on it. With the cladding project being delayed, there was a motion to pay off the ice resurfacer, can't say Zamboni, ice resurfacer, with the cladding reserve, which was passed. There was also the UBO Community Music Organisation, which is not to be confused with the UBO Community Association. They came to us wanting fees waived for hall rental. That was granted for one rental, and then the issue was passed on to the newly formed hall commission, who have been instructed to come up with a policy going forward for that issue. I'm unsure when the next meeting is, but I will keep you updated.
Perfect, thank you. Any questions on that? Thank you, Councilor Frisbee. Moving on. Vancouver Island Regional Library, Councilor, anything to report there?
Thank you. No, the next in-person meeting and elections will be held February 24th in the Nanaimo in person.
Thank you. Let's stay with you for the Advisory Planning Commission, please.
The Advisory Planning Commission meeting is this Thursday at 4. Our town planner will be reviewing the official community plan following recent edits by council, staff, and commission members that they have provided. And once this is completed, it will go back to council, and then there will be a public hearing on official community.
Thank you very much. Questions, anyone? Seeing none, Community Forest Co-op. Just a small report. Harvesting has paused due to market conditions and of course weather concerns. So harvesting has not come forward. The updated 5-year plan was brought forward to public information at the Curling Lounge. There was a number of signatories on that. I appreciate everyone that attended or went and had a look. We did have our annual party. I can't say Christmas party because it was in January, but that was the only time available at the Honeymoon Bay retreat. Great facility and great that camaraderie of all volunteers, at least be afforded an opportunity for a meal. Some great music, bingo.
Oh, dear.
Yes. Otherwise, I will keep you apprised as to what transpires there. I've been re-elected as the vice chair of that organization and continue to look at major projects coming forward to all needs within the West Gallatin apply for those grants. There's a number of applications that will be coming forward for consideration. They are vetted by the finance committee. Their recommendations are brought to the board and then they're decided from there. In the last 15 years, approximately $300,000 has been invested in different projects in the Cowichan Lake Community Forest Walk in all communities, whether it's Yulo, Massachi Lake, Huntington Bay, or Lake Cowichan. So it's a legacy of moving forward. Prime example of the trail system that was resurfaced through the CBRD, money was afforded to that, and considerable ongoing commitments, whether it be the food bank, community services, and other organizations which have continuous funding opportunities. With that, I will stop. We have other reports which I will continue on speaking. Cowichan Valley Regional District Board. It's budget time. And former Mayor Day knows the length and substance of those discussions. 182 functions within the CBRD, each one has its own budget. So discussions are ongoing as to what is permissible in an increase for taxation. The board authorized a 3.54 increase for taxation this year. That did not include those that we have no control over, which is transit, Vancouver Regional Library, and waste management. So considerable work to be done because there are a number of supplemental items that are coming forward that are imperative to the functioning of the Cowichan Valley Regional District. Meeting tomorrow starting at 9:30, and we'll commence throughout the day. I have been appointed as the chair of the development committee for that organization, and it's like herding cats at times, but it's very, very informative. It's a different animal than municipal government. We have more leeway of moving funds around within the district. That would have to come back for the budget review, should there be some increases throughout the year. There's also a virtual meeting proposed on February 1st from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. for area FI and the town to go over the budget for our functions that we did participate in. And with that, if there are any questions, I will try to answer. Seeing none, Councillor Austin, Community Outreach Team.
Thank you. Community outreach team is with the community services. There's no meeting this month due to the weather. However, I did recently meet the new community paramedic, Robin Long, at the Casa Health Unit. She has been shadowing various organizations, including community services within the Cowichan Lake area, and getting to know what everybody is doing and what services they provide. I also sent her information along to Cindy Lise at our Cowichan, as she would like to attend one of their meetings. Robin is definitely a valuable and much needed addition to our community. Mike Wright started this a few years ago as a paramedic going around, and yet they make visits to the person's house privately and check up on them if they need that. Plus they go to other places. She's already been up to the Diddidat Nation and other places throughout the whole area. She has the same area as the RCMP do, that do the whole entire area. So she's very happy to be here. She lives in Nanaimo, but she's extremely happy to be here and working here. I think it's every day.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, I will skip our Cowichan and the Cowichan watershed vote.
I have
You do that.
a lot of there.
Okay, I will, when are you reporting?
Our Cowichan, yeah, I don't look at
Okay.
Our Cowichan Community Health Network, I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, it's a major group of people within the valley, the whole entire valley. And the January meeting was held during a snowstorm on the 11th at 5:30 at the Ramada Inn. Over 30 folks were in attendance. Lake Howard had 4 members in attendance for these meetings. Sheila Service and Bob Day, I believe you're co-chairs both to that, so we have good representation from the Lake Howard area at that meeting. I go on behalf of our Elder Care Society and alternate to the town. The focus for this meeting was on food security. Janet Krenz from the Vancouver Island Food Insecurity Group presented the current food costing report and information from the green community as well, in Judy Stafford's absence on their food task force and resources. Cowichan. Reports were also given by Nourish Cowichan, the Cowichan Valley Basket Society, and Meals on the Ground. They were really great reports on all of those. There's lots. Accolades were given to a friend of mine, Rhoda Taylor, who was a nurse I used to volunteer with at the CATSA. Her work for organizing and volunteering at Meals on the Ground for the past 15 years. It is held Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at Duncan United Church for those in need at 5 o'clock. And she is receiving an award from the Lieutenant Governor this month for all her volunteer work over the years. She's a wonderful person and herself. And it's a great organization. Our college and is really a great organization to attend the meetings. So they do a lot of things.
Thank you very much. Any questions on that? Appreciate that, Councilor Austin. We will wait for the watershed updates from Councilor Senator attends next month. Moving on to staff reports, we have the CAO and the CMHC Housing Accelerator Fund approval. Mr. Fernandez, please.
Yes, last year we made an application, last summer actually, we made an application to the CMHC for funds. And we listed a number of initiatives that we would be undertaking. And we didn't hear back from them until early this year. And they told us that we were successful in our grant application, and they were going to give us more than what we had planned on getting. So we're going to give us $885,750. And they will be paid out in 4 installments. The first installment was paid out in 10 days. And as you can tell, those are the initiatives that we have to accomplish. And they will provide the rest of the funding as long as the initiatives are all undertaken by 2027.
So there are a number of parameters that must be adhered to.
And they're willing to broaden. So these were the initiatives we looked at, but we can always obviously look at other initiatives as long as it's to deal with affordable housing.
Correct. And I see in the report that it's going to rental only zoning, which we have discussed at this table for a number of years. It's nice to see that that is coming to fruition, especially with the lack of rental units, which are afforded for those that need them. I think that's a great avenue that might incorporate, as you see further on, Habitat for Humanity, which we've also been in discussions in for many years, looking at some densification within a possible project coming forward. So hopefully that will incorporate some units for rental, and at least people will be able to stay within the community that they're growing up in. Hopefully. Anything else on that?
Yeah, just an aside, Habitat for Humanity will be wanting to meet with council this fall and to lay out their plans for what they want to accomplish in Lake College. So they're not going to be focused on one area, they're looking at a number of areas.
Excellent. You need a approval of that or anything, or is it good?
It's already approved.
Great. Okay. Councillor Frisbee.
Yeah, in your report, you've said that council needs to focus on this issue of affordable and decent housing with agencies such as Habitat for Humanity. Are there other organisations that this staff and council should be reaching out to?
They are, and they haven't really come to us. They're more focused on bigger cities. So Habitat for Humanity basically focused.
Okay, so sorry about that.
Councillor.
So in this report, you've said that we need to focus on this. So what is that actually saying? But is there anything that you're calling to action from us to do?
Just, I think, further discussion with Habitat for Humanity, and maybe, as you indicated, I could look to see if there were other organizations interested in coming in. You know, we can spend some time looking at it.
Yeah.
I'll move to, no, I'll go to you first, you said to.
In the Habitat for Humanities is looking at Lake Cowichan, but there's not a lot of municipal land that could be donated. So are they looking for a land donation?
Yeah, this is the discussion I had with them. They're not looking for donation. They're looking to buy. And they want to, obviously they want to buy at the best price they can get it.
I think we have an opportunity as council within our DCC bylaw to explore some relief within that. Should there be a project that comes forward that fits the criteria of what is in these accelerator funds. And with that, that's in the discussion will happen at this table, whether or not there's anything that we can do to accommodate the affordability of that. That concludes all of them.
Sorry, I was just gonna touch on the finances. So this money here would potentially go to Habitat for Humanity because they are self-sourcing.
But no, it's only a portion. I mean, the money is actually for the town to accomplish a number of initiatives.
So that money could support Habitat for Humanity.
So, and the mayor alluded to that.
Yeah, right, okay.
I think it did mention in there, the update of the DCCs, but we have already done that. But now whether or not we have to look at, rehashing that, in the future,
No, I
funds
think,
could be afforded.
yeah, the future could be important.
Perfect. One more?
Last one.
Okay.
Just for those who have read the report, the jab about stopgap measures with substandard accommodation facilities, is that pertaining to how we extended the resident on River Road?
No, it's just on a number of issues. I mean, we should be looking at having people live in decent housing, not in housing that's not really fit for year-round habitation.
Perfect. With that, I'll move on to number 2, which is from the CAO. This is council approval for capital projects. Mr. Fernandez.
Yeah, so I've listed a number of items that these are either in progress or need to be accomplished in the short order. So it needs council approval to, so that we can go forward with those.
And if you remember, a number of these were approved in last year's budget, which have not come to completion yet. So approval here would the continuation of that and not need to go through the budget process again. Expended or recovered for that. So there is a recommendation there, but anyone like to move that? Moved by Councilor Frisbee, seconded by Councilor Austin. Discussion on Councilor Frisbee.
The pay to park system for $40,000, I don't recall that in the budget. Where is that targeted for the pay to park system?
I'll let the superintendent speak to that.
So what we're looking at is buying some meters, parking meters, like they have in Duncan and other locations where you can get into put on that. So it'll be Stable Park, Point Ideal, the downtown area. We haven't really come down to a conclusion exactly where we're gonna put them yet, but it will come out.
Just to follow up, so that was addressed in the last budget, but that was planned in the last budget. We're continuing something here.
No, that's new.
So this pay to parking has been lumped in with the other ones that we're trying to get from last year.
And same with the recycling totals.
And that's to accommodate the purchase of those prior to the budget being finalized. So if you are in favor of these, this would be the time to put that forward. Given that we're just in the start of our budget negotiations, and after that is approved, will be the time that these would be approved in the previous process. So we're pre-approving some projects from last year and a couple of new ones, seeing how we've taken on the recycling in-house. And we need to automate those systems. With totes is another new one. Counselor,
Can we separate these and approve the ones that have already pre-approved but not completed? And then the new ones to separate, because when I looked at that paper card system, that was never actually discussed here
your call.
at the table. So,
You would make a motion to that effect?
To amend it, if you have. Well,
We did it right now. So the motion says the council approved to expend the above estimates plus taxes, so projects can be completed in a timely manner. If you wish, we can defeat that motion and then move forward with a different motion that we propose. Councilor Frisbee,
Could we make an amendment to this motion?
as long as you don't say it's friendly, there are no friendly.
That's what I heard that saying, Joe.
There are no friendly.
I would like to make an amendment that we approve everything on here about that, except for the pay to park system. The reason behind that is I don't think there's a clear parking plan set forward by this town yet. We did budget for a parking study which hasn't been completed. It's not the time to be throwing up parking systems when we don't know what we're up to.
Okay, so the amendment is to remove the pay to park system for a separate discussion. And include all the remaining ones for approval, so the projects can be completed in a timely manner. Is the seconder okay with that? So we've had some discussion, any more discussion required on that? Call a question, all in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carries. Now on the pay to park system. Would you like to table that? Future discussion? Or what is your question?
You have to make a motion for that?
You should.
Well, I make a motion, we table it for during budget.
Okay, do we have a second? Seconded by Councilor Naka, discussion on that. And if I can piggyback on Councilor Frisbee, I think this would incorporate the traffic study that we proposed last year and incorporating the pay system that came from that report would be a possible solution. So the motion to table, all in favor? Opposed, if any? So that will be moved to a future discussion. Number 3, application for development permit for 124 Elk Road, Lot A, Section 5, Renfrew District Plan 30829 PID 001-221-591. And for 130 Elk Road, Lot 8, Section 5, Renfrew District Plan 30829 PID 001. -604. Mr. Fernandez.
yes, there is a development that's occurring on Elk Road, 3-lot subdivision, which is in the process of being approved. Final approval will be subject to a development permit being issued, and all of the town has been declared basically wildfire risk. And so all developments have to make application to get a development permit. So the recommendation is that we provide the 3 lots, the entire property, actually, because they also have lots in the back, so they don't want to come back to council. And they reapply for those portions of the lots, but they haven't been approved for subdivision yet, so there would be other considerations that would kick in for those lots. And the recommendation is that we approve, the council approve the development permit for that property, subject to the conditions that have been laid out in the SAP.
Okay, there are a number of conditions. Some of them are emergency plan, hazard abatement. Sure, construction workers are made aware of the risk of fire, shaded fuel breaks, etc. And again, I look at the installed split rail fencing when we talk about the fire smart. I still don't buy that. I'm sorry that one bugged me in the last one, and it will continue to bug me if you're installing split rail fencing in a fire hazard zone. But that's just me. So there are a number of recommendations there to approve it. Would anyone like to move that? Moved by Councillor Frisbee. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councillor Austin. Questions?
Well, I
Councillor
just,
Austin.
I just have a comment, and I can mention it to the town planner on Thursday. If the split rail fence, I can see here it is to limit damage to native vegetation retained around the site, but if I mention that maybe that is an issue that some people find odd, maybe it's something that could be taken out of there. I know we have them all over.
I think we need an alternative.
Yes, an alternative of maybe in medicine.
But if you look in the map at the surrounding area,
Yeah.
and then it looks quite heavy with underbrush, et cetera, so that's my only concern. Councilor Frisbee, you have something? You're all good. So just a question, Mr. Fernandez, is this in the similar area that we approved previously?
Just across the road, actually.
And on that one, there was a concern of silt deviation. Has that been mentioned in here?
No, that was a little different because they came in for wildfire permit also.
Right.
And so that was not addressed with them. It's addressed separately.
So the slope stability on the lot.
It will be addressed, yeah, it will be addressed when they do the further subdivision.
Okay, great. Okay, that's on the table. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion carried. Thank you. Now we have bylaws. Mr. Fernandez.
Yes, this bylaw deals with the changes council made by going to the 5 o'clock meeting, and the bylaw recognizes 6 o'clock start times for those meetings, and so it's basically accommodating the meeting time, and so we're just amending that council procedure bylaw to recognize that the new start time is 5, and also the adjournment time is now 7:30 rather than 8:30. So those are the only changes, and the changes are reflected in the amended bylaw.
Bill Mover, Bill Maka, second by Councilor Frisbee. Discussion. So just a change in the start time, all in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion carries. Now we're looking for a leave of absence for Councilor Sanadu. Moved by Councilor Frisbee, seconded by Councilor Austin. All in favor? Those opposed? That motion carries. I did not see any notices of motion. So we'll move to question period. If you're watching online, you can phone 250-749-3239 with any questions on tonight's agenda items. For in person, again, for any items on the agenda, you can ask a question. You have a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. Please, if anybody step forward, state your name and question, that would be appreciated. Seeing none, I guess we were quite clear. Appreciate it. Reason for going in camera, Mr. Fernandez.
Section 92 of the committee charter requires that before a meeting or part of meeting is to be closed to the public, council must state by resolution why the meeting is to be closed. And the basis on which the meeting is to be closed falls under the following section of the committee charter. Section 91G, litigation of potential litigation affecting the municipality.
Do I have a motion to go in camera? Moved by Councilor Austin, seconded by Councilor Frisbee. All those in favor? Those opposed? Thank you very much for your attendance, ladies and gentlemen. We are adjourned.
I had the